The Longines Spirit Zulu Time, along with the Legend Diver, are some retro-inspired watches that have really brought Longines back into favor with the enthusiast community in recent years. This video will be an unboxing and review of an affordable homage to the Spirit Zulu Time from a new Hong Kong-based startup called Aethelsohn. So welcome back, guys. My name is Brian, the Chinese watch guy. I like affordable watches, especially Chinese watches. So if you like videos like these, remember to like and subscribe. So Aethelsohn is a very new Hong Kong micro brand, or perhaps, well, somewhere between an homage brand and micro brand that just emerged in the last few months. And as with Englemaan, they've had a very impressive start, at least on paper, because they've come out with a full line of 62 Mas homages, Grand Seiko homages, Longines homages, and they also seem to have a very interesting original shard dial watch. Okay, so I've been wanting a real Spirit Zulu Time for quite some time. I've gone to the shops and tried it on, but yeah, I just haven't committed because it is well over $5,000. As for the affordable side, St. Martin has done a collaboration with Watch Dives, and it's been fairly well received, but what has kept me from pulling the trigger on that one is, one, they're out of the colorway that I wanted, which is what I thought was the black and gilt bezel version, but I think it's actually brown and gilt. And there are a few other negatives of the watch that it actually carries over from the original Zulu Time. I'll discuss these a bit later. So will this be the Zulu Time homage for me? Without further ado, let's open it up. Okay, so we can see it just comes in a simple plastic pelican case. And I should mention before we begin that Aethelsohn sent me this loaner copy. So if there are imperfections on it, if there are micro scratches on it, that's probably why. Oh, and quick wrist check. I am wearing my Sin U50 Hydro. Let's take a look. All right, so we see a nicely packaged screwdriver and the watch itself. All right, so let's get these out of the way. Okay, first impressions. My first impressions are that it's rather beautiful, isn't it? I love this colorway. It's too bad that St. Martin no longer makes this colorway, as far as I know. And too bad that the original Zulu Time in this colorway, which is 18 karat gold, is so damn expensive. It seems to be well finished. We'll put this under macro lens. But yeah, it's feeling pretty substantial, pretty quality. Looks like a 60 click bidirectional bezel. Oh, one negative of this watch is the male end links. Do we still have that? Yeah, we still have that here. So that could make the lug to lug a bit too much. Well, we'll see. We'll get this sized up and we'll do specs and dimensions. Okay, the watch sized up for my 6.5-inch wrist, weighs in at almost 133 grams. By comparison, my Englemaan Enterprise weighed in at 153, and my XL Warrior weighed in at 120 on my wrist. Okay, so the case size is 39 millimeters. I think it's listed at 38 millimeters, but yeah, it does. The bezel has a slight overhang. Lug to lug is about 45.5 millimeters, but with those male end links, it will be more like 50.2 millimeters. So we'll have to see how that actually wears. And it should be a 20 millimeter lug width. Inside, we do have the NH34 movement, a standard movement for affordable GMTs. We have a screw down case back and a screw down crown. Okay, looking more closely at this dial, we see those Large Arabic numerals, of course, framed in gilt, very nice looking, and those provide a nice contrast with the numbers on the bezel. So this is the Spirit Zulu Time layout, of course. The dial is this chocolatey brown dial. I believe Aethelsohn listed as a type of enamel surface. We have the Aethelsohn logo and brand name at 12 o'clock. I think the logo looks better than a lot of Chinese brands, to be frank. And we have a framed color match date wheel at 6 o'clock. As for the case, very well done. You can see that nice gold colored crown with the Aethelsohn logo. Quite nice finely brushed flanks, and we can see that polished chamfer that runs along the side of the case. As for the bracelet, again, very nice fine brushing on this 3-link bracelet with those polished stripes. Very nice look. And when it comes to the clasp, double pushers, signed clasp, and it is an on-the-fly adjustable clasp, as you find on many micro brands and Chinese brands these days. The bracelet is comfortable enough. No real sharp edges, perhaps just at this edge of the clasp, a bit edgy. But I would say that, yeah, unfortunately, it does lack the chamfered edges that you might get on the newest Ixdaos or San Martins. Perhaps we're a bit spoiled by the Chinese brands these days. Okay, here's the watch outside, looking very good in natural light. And there is a lot of beautiful light play over the watch. Maybe perhaps in terms of legibility a bit too much because of the glare off of the ceramic bezel. And perhaps it's the enamel dial. As for the lume, there's pretty strong Swiss Superluminova. Lasts pretty well, although perhaps it starts to fade after about 20 minutes. As for accuracy, I was pretty impressed as I was getting from 0 to +2 seconds a day in the dial-up position anyway. Although the more common crown down position, I was getting more like -10 seconds per day. Still not bad for a Seiko NH movement. Okay, let me talk about drawbacks of the watch and then give my final verdict. I would say the bezel action, yeah, doesn't feel exactly premium. In fact, as well, the legibility of the numerals I felt are not the best, especially when off at an angle a bit compared to other watches. The bracelet, although it's really well finished and comfortable enough, it doesn't necessarily feel that premium. Touching it on the sides, on the edges here. Again, perhaps I'm just a bit spoiled by some of the watches I've been trying on recently. The dial color might not be for everyone, but there are, of course, other colorways as well. Okay, as for my final verdict, this is a great Zulu Time homage. Believe it or not, it actually has some advantages over the real Zulu Time. It has a much more interchangeable 20mm lug width as opposed to 21mm. The lug-to-lug is actually a bit shorter than the actual Zulu Time, and I think it fits okay on my 6.5-inch wrist. If your wrist is much smaller, yeah, perhaps you might have problems. Now, as mentioned, San Martin does already make a very similar homage. However, if you like this black and gilt colorway and the monochromatic colorway, yeah, I would go with Aethelsohn. Very classy looking, affordable watch if you want to save yourself about $5,000. Okay, as mentioned in a previous video, I wanted to celebrate my first 1,000 subscribers with a free watch giveaway, and this one is a doozy. It is the Citadel UTC, anti-magnetic, anti-scratch, on-the-fly, adjustable clasp, GMT watch, also a beautiful, tough watch. All you have to do is make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will choose one of my subscribers. I'll give you this watch for free. How about that? Okay, so that's all for this time. My name's Brian. Chinese watch guy. I'll see you next time. Enjoy your watches.